Hey, Fragrance family, I'm Daver.
And I'm George.
And we're the Fragrance Bros. Come at you again with another review, and with our special guest, George, Fragrance Apprentice. Welcome, George. How are you doing?
I want to die. I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright.
Really excited about this review, obviously.
Oh my goodness, yes we are!
I can feel the enthusiasm.
Feel it coming through.
This time, obviously, reviewing Dior Homme Parfum. A lot of buzz about this one, and I actually just got a sample from my friend Carlos, fellow guest reviewer. I haven't been able to get it, so just got it, so that's really cool. So let's get straight to it. Date introduced is 2014. It's classified as a leather. Notes are iris, leather, and sandalwood. Now, George, what do you get out of longevity out of this?
Oh, it's wonderful, David.
Yeah.
It just lasts and lasts, and it keeps going and keeps going. It's gonna be there all the time.
Yeah, it really does last. And
yeah.
I want to say, like, this is at least in the excellent range.
Definitely.
But it is stepping into beast mode territory.
Yeah.
And it possibly could be beast mode. But it is great for longevity.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Now, what about projection?
That was the interesting thing. I actually got, like, above average. I didn't get insane.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Which was bizarre.
Yeah, usually with this type of fragrance, I would expect it to be, you know, really thick.
Yeah.
Almost like Dior Homme Intense. Like Dior Homme Intense actually projects really well.
Yeah, it does.
But this one didn't do that. This one on me was a little bit closer. It was in about the average range for me. So.
How bizarre.
Season, I would say it's obviously fall and winter, and I could see this day or night, but probably people are going to wear this more at nighttime.
Yeah.
And purpose, I would say this is great for casual. It's great for formal. It's great for date. Great, and you know, ironic quotes. So before I ask you what this reminds you of, I want to talk about Dior Homme.
Just vent. Just preach. Just go. Right. Don't worry. This is therapy now. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I've mentioned this to you, and people know this on my channel. I love Dior Homme. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite fragrances. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite fragrances of all time.
Yes.
And it's an amazing fragrance.
Oh my God, yeah.
And if I'm right, I think you really love it as well. Correct?
I did like a 30-minute saga review on just like how awesome it was. Like, it's just a piece of art, and it's not just about Dior Homme. It's about Christian Dior. You know,
yes.
Like, they are a designer company that makes niche companies paranoid about their niche quality. You know, you've got Creed and Bond No. 9 and all that kind of stuff, but they're quivering over what Christian Dior could release because they are such a domineering faction of, fashion and fragrance. And Dior Homme, it changed the paradigm of what a man's fragrance should smell like. Yeah. I mean, that's just ridiculous and absolutely amazing.
It's an incredible fragrance.
Yeah.
It really is a masterpiece. And you're right, it really changed the world. It really is iconic for Dior. It really says a lot about Dior and their aesthetic. But even aside from that, it's just an amazing smell. And
I know.
It just smells great. Every time I wear it, I just feel like I'm home. I just really, really love it. So
it's if I can just say, it's one of those fragrances that you can't argue with. In fact, Dior Homme actually has got the best, one of the best compliments that I've ever had from my own fragrance.
Really?
A lady said to me, "That is pure sex."
Wow.
And that's amazing. So that no complaints. Even Dior Homme Intense, like, I don't like Dior Homme Intense. But my God, I respect it.
Yeah.
And people who don't like Dior Homme, what they will say to you is, you know, maybe the smell isn't for me, but I know that it's good, and I know that it's something special. And the smell, you know, just on a general sort of everyday kind of guy, the smell is an absolute compliment. Beast.
Yeah.
gets so much attention, and people love it. It's, you know, it's one of those fragrances that you could say, along with the presentation, the wearability, all that, as perfect.
So, transitioning into Dior Homme Parfum, I was super excited to hear about Dior Homme Parfum.
Same.
So when Dior Homme Parfum came out, I was like, you know, I was kind of wondering what it's going to be like. Is it going to be just a parfum strength of Dior Homme, or is it a rebranding of Dior Homme Intense? Dior has been doing some things with Dior Homme brand, and been kind of moving things around. So they changed up Dior Homme Sport.
Yes.
They changed up Dior Homme Cologne. And so when I heard this, I was like, are they going to change Dior Homme Intense?
Yes. Because
Dior Homme Intense is already a parfum strength.
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought it might be a rebranding instead of just adding a new SKU. But I was wrong, and it is a new SKU. It's only available right now in Europe and in the UK right now. So I got some, and I smelled it. I was super let down.
Yeah.
But what does this remind you of?
It reminds me of the fact that every few years a company gets really paranoid and gets like self-conscious. You know what I mean? Yves Saint Laurent went through it really recently, where it's like, like they do an incredible hit or whatever, like L'Homme, La Nuit de l'Homme, whatever, and then they start, and then a couple of years passed, and they start to get paranoid, and they start to get upset, and the investors start to get upset, and they're like, does anybody remember us? Make more flankers, make more flankers, make more flankers, but we don't have any actual creative ideas. I don't care, I want money. Yeah. Right? Forget the art thing. We're not. This is a business. Make more crap, right? And churn it out, and people will buy it. I mean, they don't need to do this. I knew that Dior was on the brink of something kind of going wild when they released out of nowhere Dior Homme O. Yeah. Yeah, and it was so crazy that everybody just kind of like, it took everybody by shock. Nobody was outraged. Everybody just kind of like went, oh, that's a bit weird. But I look the other way. I'm like, whatever. It's Christian Dior. Who can, you know, they'll be fine. And then they released this, and I was so excited for Dior Homme Parfum because Fahrenheit Parfum was quite good. I actually thought that was quite good. Okay. But Dior Homme Parfum, I thought this is going to be the ultimate thing. Whatever, this is going to be great. And then I smelt it, and I just thought, oh my God, we've been played. Yeah. We've completely been played here. Yeah. This is nothing to do with reinventing the brand, creating something artistic, creating something awesome, giving something to the people who are dedicated aficionados of Christian Dior. This is about, we've got a shiny new whatever, come and buy it. I was really upset. And when I first smelled it, you know, I posted it on Facebook and said, you know, I just smelled it, and I had a little bit of positivity there and optimism there when I first smelled it, and I thought it was decent. But then as time goes on, it was like, this really isn't good. I was like, this really isn't good. Yeah. And the other thing too is like, compared to Dior Homme and Dior Homme Intense, it's not good compared to those. Okay. No, it's not. It's not the same as those. No, it's not. But even compared to the general run-of-the-mill fragrances, it's still not that good. Yeah. So here's what I get. You know, there's only 3 notes in here, and very simple, you know, composition apparently. But right away, it's iris. You know, it's a very noticeable iris, and it smells a lot like Dior Homme Intense. You can tell it's in the same family. You know, obviously it wasn't pulled out of nowhere like Dior Homme O. No. The iris is really actually pretty intense for a while, and that fades away, and it just becomes like this sweet kind of bland, woody, somewhat leathery scent, and it still kind of smells like Dior Homme, but not. Maybe, yeah. It's really potent, and I can't get over how sweet this is. This reminds me more of Valentino Uomo than Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense. Like, we did a review of Valentino Uomo. I'll have a link down below.
And I thought it was okay, but it was super sweet, and you did not like it at all.
Well, you know something, look, with Valentino, like that review was a bit like, it was funny, it was amusing and stuff like that. But with like Valentino, it's a benign problem because it's like it's just a very small designer company that, is a bit, whatever. But to release, for Christian Dior to release something that smells blander than a bland copy of one of their other fragrances, Valentino Uomo, alarm bells start ringing in your head.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Dior Homme Parfum, because they made all, they did the right marketing, they did all that kind of stuff, people were hyped about it, and the issue is that that's all that they're selling.
Yeah.
They're not selling fragrances anymore, they're selling hype.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? This is kind of unacceptable, because you've got so much quality, you know what you're doing, you set the standard, and you release bland, woody, watery, iris nothingness.
Yeah. It's almost hard to tell you how disappointed I am. The other thing too is, like, whenever I first spray this on, it almost smells like nothing. Like there's almost something about it that it has no smell. Almost.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. It's strange. It comes back. Like, the smell is there, but it's almost a nothing smell.
It's kind of the similar issue that I had with Uomo, which is it's just so smeared. Yeah. It's just so blah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to the point where your nose just goes, mate, there's nothing here.
So, watching some of the reviews, I was expecting it to have a lot of leather in this because, it's a main note in Fragrantica, and a lot of reviewers are saying they get a lot of leather in this. I actually don't get that much leather in this at all.
Yeah.
I think it's there, it's noticeable, but it's one of those fragrance leathers, and not like, it doesn't smell like real leather to me. It smells like something, but it doesn't really smell like leather to me. And I also think that there is actually another different type of iris in here too. Like, I think they have the iris flower and a little bit of the iris root. So the iris root gives you that buttery iris butter smell that is in, like, Dior Homme and then in Bois d'Argent. Really, really nice.
Yeah.
And then this, I think, has it a little bit, but then I think it also goes more into the flower side, which goes into the leathery territory. And it also goes into this really harsh smell, which I do not like the smell of iris flower itself.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's there. It just smells so cheap. And, and that's one of my problems with this, is that, you smell Dior Homme, you smell Dior Homme tints, they smell great, they smell luxurious, they smell modern, and this doesn't smell like that. It smells cheap. This almost smells like a Dior Homme knockoff, or Dior Homme Intense knockoff, but made with like really cheap ingredients. That's how bad it is. It's just, there's something in there that's so chemically and harsh in there, and as it dries, it gets worse and worse and worse. It just smells bad and smells cheap. I really, really cannot stand it. There's not a real strong leather note in here. It's just jumbled together and mashed together. 3 notes. You have 3 notes. How can you not make 3 notes smell good?
You know what this really smells to me of? It smells like a first draft of Dior Homme Intense.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, or a proof of concept of Dior Homme Intense, so just like, or a prototype. But they forgot this thing, this really important thing in perfumery. It's called having a smell.
Wait.
Right?
Wait. You wanted it to smell like something?
Yeah, David, yeah. There's this old discipline in perfumery called scent, called a fragrance smelling like something. I don't know, it's quite mainstream, a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
But this one, it's like somebody forgot the brief of this one, like what, like so bad. When Guinness has a more pronounced smell than a Christian Dior fragrance, that's when you should freak out. That's when you should panic.
I think we should also talk about, like, who should buy this. Yeah. Especially people who are looking at the reviews of this are people who like Dior Homme, who like Dior Homme Intense, and they're thinking,
Yeah.
should I buy this? Should I have someone in Europe or in the UK send this to me?
Yeah.
And I say no, because Dior Homme Intense are a lot, leagues better than this. And Dior Homme Intense does the same thing this does, but smells good. It's not going to replace either of those two. So if you already have one of those, just stay away from this.
It's unnecessary, and it's a actual literal downgrade.
Yeah.
Just because it's new does not mean it's better.
Yeah.
Don't be duped. Don't be tricked.
Yeah.
You know, it's all smoke and mirrors. You know, this is not better than Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense.
Definitely not.
This is a downgrade.
Definitely. Let's talk about bang for buck real quick. Bang for buck, this is about 100 euros in Europe, and in dollars, that's about $125 as of, you know, this recording. If you were to have it shipped over here, you're looking at $140, maybe $150 to have it over here. You know, $100, $125. I would say, you know, that's in the average range for something like this, if it were good, obviously. Do not blind buy this.
No.
Do not have this shipped over from Europe. It's going to come to America eventually. It's just going to. You know, just buy it when it comes in America if you have to. But definitely do not blind buy this from Europe or the UK.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky. In Manchester, it's at the Selfridges.
Yeah.
It's about £80 here.
Okay.
For 75 millilitres.
Yes, a smaller bottle. Yeah, that's right.
But for £45 retail price, I can buy a 50 millilitre of the glorious, wonderful, majestic, beautiful Dior Homme.
Yeah, and you can wear it. It'll be a lot easier to wear. It's still, I mean, on Dior Homme on me is still pretty strong. It's not beastly, but it's exactly the right amount. It smells fantastic. It's just great. Which brings me to compliments. Did you get any compliments when you wore this?
I got one.
Okay.
You ready? Everybody ready? Everybody get strapped in for this
one.
All right.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Yes, I got a it's good that. Okay. £80, ladies and gentlemen, £80.
Whenever I wore it, I didn't really get any notices. Partly because it's, you know, it doesn't really push out that far. But whenever someone did notice it, I asked them what they thought, and they said they kind of raised up their nose and said they thought it smelled peppery, which I don't think it smells peppery, but it has like this piquancy about it that I think is from the iris flower and that leathery note or whatever in there, the chemically type cheap stuff that just doesn't smell good, and that I think is what they're raising their nose at. My wife doesn't like this, and I've mentioned this before, but whenever I wear Dior Homme, it always reminds her of one of her favorite hair products when she was growing up.
Yes.
So she really likes that and always likes it when I wear Dior Homme. When I wore this, she didn't get that association at all and did not like this.
So there we go, ladies and gents. Christian Dior quality right there.
That's right.
Quite a step down from it smells like sex.
So, George, final rating, what do you give this?
Final rating, you know, I'd feel ridiculous if I'd given Valentino's Uomo 1 star and I wouldn't give this one 1 star. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 1 star, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, this makes Valentino's Uomo look a bit more bearable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah.
With a heavy heart.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give this 2 stars. I don't think.
You kind, generous man.
Yeah. Someone out there will probably love this. One person.
One.
So for that one person, I'll add an extra star. I really, I cannot tell you how much I really wanted this to be amazing. Yeah. I really wanted this to be good. I really wanted this to be okay. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's not that. It's not Dior quality. It's not Dior. It's not up to Dior standards.
Nowhere near.
It's not anywhere close to Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense. And it's even not a great fragrance on its own. I hate that. Like, I hate saying that. I don't want to say that.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to give a Dior 1 star. I don't want people to think that I'm just some kind of crazy fragrance hater.
Yeah.
You know, who just like hates everything and stuff like that, because I don't. I really love a lot of fragrances, and I love a lot of Dior fragrances, and that's actually the reason why I give it such a low rating, because I know that they are one of the greatest companies, you know, fragrance-wise in the world.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all we got for Dior Homme Parfum. What do you think? Have you tried it yet? Let us know down in the comments down below. And of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. We'll love you for it. Yeah. And go check out George's channel. I'll have a link down below, and go subscribe to him. He has some great reviews, so go check out his channel.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on again, George. Really appreciate it, and really looking forward to some more reviews that we're going to be doing in the future.
There'll be good ones. There'll be good ones as well. Yeah. We promise.
Yeah, we got some good ones on the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you later. I'm Daver.
And I'm George.
And we're the Fragrance Bros.
Bye.